Alrighty, well, let's go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for being here on this update webinar of iPro Network. And tonight's webinar is going to be full of information, so take some notes as we go along with the information here. We're going to try to keep it as short as possible, try to keep it around 30 minutes. I always say that, I know, and I probably go over most of the times, but that is my intention to have this update call in about 30 minutes. Now, one of the things that I want to start with, folks, is kind of give you a glimpse of what's happened, since we got started with iPro Network, what's been going on, a lot of the things that have transpired over the course of just doing business. And one of the things is that the time, the preparation that it took to put all of this together from inception was way before November of 2016, when we started doing a very, very soft launch of the program. And so, so a lot of thought, effort, energy went into all of the things that needed to happen in order to get this going. And so once that materialized and everything started going, and with God's help and his hand on the project, IPN was experiencing tremendous growth and momentum. I mean, unbelievable growth, unbelievable momentum. I think that the recipe and the formula, what was put together, again, with a lot of moving parts, a lot of moving pieces, but it all clicked. It all meshed well, and it was a very, very attractive model. And so, I personally believe we had, an opportunity, to really just break and shatter some records, which I know we already have, but, in the long term. And so that vision is still here. And so I want you to understand that that does not change. But because of the scenario that we found ourselves in going back 8 months ago, and this is really immediately following the Tennessee event, we were notified that the SEC was doing an informal investigation into one of our payment processors. Well, some of you have heard some of this. Some of you may have heard it third party. I just kind of want to talk not too much about it, but I do want to say this. These last 8 months, iPro Network has not even been named formally, as or charged with anything. It's all been under the the informal investigation into a payment processor that they were looking at that had processed payments for us. And so because of that, they started kind of pointing their direction, they're putting their eyes on us and seeing what we were doing. And so, we want to be very respectful with government agencies and what they do. And so, we've been cooperating with them. We respectfully disagree with a lot of the things that they've said or have led us to, through our attorneys, information that's going back and forth. And this has been a long process. It's become almost a full-time experience just dealing with this agency back and forth. And so what, it's kind of like, when they start calling people, your friendly neighborhood regulatory agency, no matter how friendly that conversation goes, no matter what the questions are, I don't care if they call you up and say, hi, how's the weather? And hey, oh, by the way, I'm calling from the SEC. That is not a good call to have. And so what's happened is, because of that, questioning of representatives of the company, leadership, of course, corporate officers, questioning as to the nature of our business model, it created a lot of confusion in the field, some frustration, absolutely, it created doubt. So that's kind of what's been going on. Over the last 8 months, they have really contacted many people. So the word's out there. So nothing that I'm saying right now is, is top secret. It is what it is. But what I do want you to know is that this has always been with the informal investigation of another company. And so, but what winds up happening is that the the damage, if you will, already has happened. And so I'm going to dive into that a little bit more. But what I want what I want you guys to understand is that it has not been a pleasant experience. We respectfully disagree with the commission, but we are willing to comply with their wishes. So, number one, I want to say this: our vision, that perfect vision, that perfect goal, that perfect cause, that is not going to go away. Period. I believe that we have an anointing, we have a job to do, and I think at the Thrive event, we just came out of that with a lot of confirmations, a lot of, I'll get to that in just a second. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but just being there, and for those of you that participated in that event, I think that you would agree that just from some of the speakers that were there is absolutely no doubt that entrepreneurship and the education of how to achieve, being able to create wealth and having more money. And once you have that money, being able to keep more of your money. And once you keep more of your money, how to leverage that money. So that wealth mastery creation into entrepreneurship is something that is not going to go away. That is our vision. That's the ultimate desired outcome. That's the goal. That's where we're going. And so we're going to talk about those things. But because of all of this, kind of what I laid out in that first slide, it's taken its toll. And so that time, energy, and focus that has gone into this issue has affected the following things. So we're going to look at three different upside down stool, if you will. Number one, on the IPN side, there are things that were going to be released through the network, and it's affected that because there's a lot of uncertainty, not just as far as what this has done specifically to our company, but outside of our company, just in the industry itself, in the marketplace itself, for the last 8 months. There's just been a lot of uncertainty with anything crypto related. So on the IPN side, some of those projects being the Pro Mall, the e-marketplace, the Pro Rewards app that's tied into the 4,500 different retailers, Edge Club, et cetera. And so all of these projects that were going to be used through the viral effect of the network. So that, I've always said it, network marketing, you can't compare it to anything out there. When it goes, and it goes the way we were going, it's just unstoppable. And so these particular projects were symbiotic in relationship to ProCurrency, as outlined in the white paper and all the things that those projects are supposed to roll out. And so to be able to navigate through these 8 months and going back and forth and trying to convince and trying to explain and trying to, well, this is what this is and this is what that is, and trying to get clarity on guidelines moving forward, and still to this day not have them, then we have to start asking ourselves a question: is what am I control of? We could wait it out a year, we could do whatever we want, we could litigate back and forth, but at the end of the day, this is not good for anybody. And so we had to take a hard look on what things we could control and what things we were going to have to put on pause because of that symbiotic relationship that existed within the network and ProCommerce. And so on the ProCommerce side, same thing. Because of some of the things that they wanted to release, because of some of the things in the announcements and the updates and the information and the branding and the marketing that they wanted to do, but that would bleed over into the network. Again, there was there's been a pause there, if you will, because of this 8-month period of time that we've been in. And so what I want to, I can't really go into that because I'm not going to take away the thunder of what ProCommerce is doing, but I can tell you that I've been a part of multiple meetings, at least 3 meetings over the last week. There's a lot coming there that you guys can't even imagine right now, and it's not high. You're going to either see it or you're not going to see it. You're going to either believe it or not going to believe it, but what's going to happen is going to happen from again, I'm going to let them explain that, and they're actually poised right now to start making some major announcements as far as that all the projects within the white paper and the dates and all of those things. So you just want to keep your eyes and ears open, because that is going to start in a very big, a very strategic, a very intentional way to get Pro to be that payment solution that has always been at the forefront of that project, is to make it a household name and to be able to be a payment solution to affect the remittance industry, and ultimately other projects within EA Sports and different things that you guys have all heard. Well, a lot of those things are going to start to play out, and you guys are going to see them in the very near future. So, but again, all of this time spent has delayed a lot of those things. And then we have, of course, on the network marketing side as a company, it has stifled growth, being able to have new products and product development within the network, and just not being able to have those clear guidelines are so important to be able to move forward with clarity, moving forward with momentum, and just knowing that you have the certainty that what you're building is going to be there for the long term. And so anyway, so let's move on here. So I want to make a quick announcement, but we're going to dive deep into what that announcement means. And so what we're going to talk about is super important. In accordance with the SEC's wishes, we are going to be closing down iPro Network as a company. Now, this isn't a hard stop, so nobody freak out, okay? This is a winding down. And so we're going to cover a lot of the things tonight of what that means to you as a rep, what it means as a team leader, and how to navigate those things over the next 30 days as we wind down here. I know that at first glance this is not positive news, and that is why we are going to dive into this announcement a little bit deeper. So the first thing is we have to address the immediate questions that are going to pop into people's minds. So the list that I'm going to talk about right now, the items that I'm going to talk about, is not an exhaustive list. When something like this happens, there are going to be individual situations that are going to arise that could not be foreseen. It just happens that way. So there's going to be unique situations that may not be addressed right now. I'm going to talk about some right now that I'm going to let you know that there's going to be further information about them, because we're still figuring out that particular piece of it. But for the most part, I'd say that on the big things, I think we pretty much have a really good dialed in solution for a lot of the things that I know are going to be at top of mind awareness as you hear the the announcement that you just heard. So there's going to be a lot of questions. So let's start with some of them. My rewards. What happens to my rewards? Well, the good news, folks, is that nothing happens with your rewards. You're going to have your rewards available to you. You're going to be able to withdraw them. You're going to be able to have them. You're going to be able to put them into your wallets as pro currency, and nothing changes. You're going to be able to get a hold of them and get them. And so you don't have to, be scared or be worried or be anxious about it, because we're going to be there every step of the way to help you be able to get those out. So if you have them, great. You already have them in your wallet, fantastic, awesome. But for those people that don't, again, I want to make it perfectly clear that you don't have to worry about that one iota. No pun intended, by the way. Okay. The next thing we're going to talk about is iWallet funds. Now, folks, for those of the leaders, I'm speaking to some of the leaders that have been here since day one, from when we first got started back in November in 2016 to some of the ones that joined at the beginning of 2017. I think that over this period of time that we've been together, you've realized the heart of the company, the heart of the leadership is to always pay your people. And I think that we've demonstrated that time and time again throughout the different scenarios that have played out, from challenges in sign-ups, from challenges in compensation, programming, and so on and so forth. We've always done the right thing, which is to pay. So right now, because of this whole scenario with the SEC, and it's very unpredictable, at this point, they have not seized any funds or anything like that. But what we do want to let you know is that your iWallet funds should be requested at this point. You want to start taking out your funds, and getting the money to you is our top priority. And so we want to make sure that you know that the company is here to serve you in terms of helping you get your money as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So if you haven't, withdrawn your funds in a while, then get in there, start doing your requests, and get your money out. Now, that's going to bring out some questions, about small balances and different things. And once again, there's different scenarios that are going to play out, and I want you to know that those are already being thought through. Probably about 3 different ways and how that could be managed. And we're just trying to decide which one of those is going to be the best one for those small balances. And so once again, you don't need to freak out. We're going to be here. This is a winding down. This is not a hard stop. So hopefully that I made myself clear there. But getting everybody paid, my first mentor said, there's only a couple of things that a company needs to do, and one of them is provide product and pay the commissions on time. And so we want to make sure that you get your funds. The next thing we're going to talk about is products and the access to your products, and access to products even beyond the point where iPro Network no longer exists. And once again, there's about 3 different solutions that are being thought of, and we're trying to see which is going to be the quickest way to implement it long term. What's going to be the most efficient way to do it also long term, in terms of giving everybody access from all of the products, from the 100, the 500, the 2,000, 3,000, $6,000 product line with the e-commerce trainings that we have, and also all of the ISP products that are out there as well. So you will have access to all of your products that you purchase through iPro Network. And so that's very important. That's a question that kept, repeating about, accessibility to the products once, ultimately the company has shut down. So you don't have to worry about that either. You're gonna be able to have access to your products continually. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is e-gift cards, and this is one of those that's a little tricky. And so we're figuring this one out, guys. So if you go into the chats and you ask about e-gift cards, how are those going to handle? Trust me, we are going to figure it out. I just don't have a solution for you right at this second, but we are looking into it, and we're looking at it very, very carefully as to how to make sure that we honor anybody that has those, and we need to either convert them or how that's going to work, but I can assure you that it will get done. So but on the other stuff that we're talking about, all of these other things here are already figured out in multiple ways, just the implementation of which way is going to be the best one moving forward. So e-gift cards, a little tricky, so you're going to have to give us a little bit of time on that. As more information becomes available, we're going to keep you updated via email or on the weekly update webinars. And so you're going to have that information. As soon as we have it, we figure it out, you guys are going to know exactly how that's going to work. New promo pack sales, okay, and this is really cool. Over the last weekend, we started to see, some momentum being started with the promo packs, and so this is really cool because it kind of bleeds in to a topic that we're gonna, that we're gonna address, which is a new entity and a new company. But the promo pack sales, between now and July 31st, you can go out there and start selling these promo packs. There's, the last signups where we're actually going to have in the back office, no more signups at this time, is going to be July 31st. So the promotional pricing and the products, and from the e-trader to the signals to the e-commerce and the ISP and all of that, that continues on through July 31st. Now, what's really cool is that anybody that actually buys a promo pack between now and then, when iPro Network no longer exists as an entity and we're no longer operating as a business, the new entity, when people sign up to it, and that's going to bring me into another point right now, so we're going to get there in just a second, but when somebody buys these promo packs during this promotional period, we are going to be waiving their registration fee, so they won't have to pay the registration, nor buy another pack, because the new entity will start with these promotional packages as well. So now, so this brings us to another point, and so let's talk about this. I don't want to confuse anybody, but the first part is easy. Folks are going to need to sign up. This is a new company, new entity, new everything. So you are going to have to register once again to be a part of it if you decide to be a part of it. I think that tonight is going to be a crossroads for many people. And our vision is entrepreneurship and how to get there, and wealth mastery through education. That's what our vision is: how to make more money, how to keep more money, and how to leverage that money. And so if that vision is not in alignment with you, because you got to remember that vision has to do with living right now in an employee-based economy and switching that over into an entrepreneur-based economy. And so that's a big task, but that's what we have in our hearts. That's what we want to do. We believe in that wholeheartedly, and that's the vision. That's not going to change. And so that may not be in alignment with some people that are on this webinar here tonight, and that is okay. If you find something that you're super passionate about, as passionate as we are about this particular vision, then by all means you need to go there. You need to build that. You need to chase that. You need to be immersed in that. But for us, this is our world. This is what we're going to build. And so the folks that want to build it with us are going to sign up in the new entity. They're going to be paying their registration. Now, this is important because this links back to the My Products question. You're going to have access to your products, period. However, coming into the new entity, what we've decided to do is whatever your PV is in the products that you already own, that's going to carry over. So that PV will be respected for those folks that might have already bought a $6,000 package that activated. And this is why it's important, because it activates certain levels, certain caps, and it's a monetary decision in terms of the compensation plan if they are going to build out a network. And so that becomes very, very important. And so that PV, which stands for personal volume, as it stands now with the products that you currently own, that PV will be respected into the new entity. And we thought that was more than fair, and I thought that that was great. When this issue came up, it was like, oh my gosh, there's another thing that we have to figure out. And so, and like I said, this is not exhaustive. I'm almost 1,000% sure that there's going to be something that's going to come up, and somebody's going to ask something that, oh my gosh, why didn't we think about that particular thing? But once again, I think that our hearts. I think that you've seen what we've been able to do through the tough times, and sometimes we've delivered late, but we deliver. And so whatever those issues are, we will address them, we'll look at them, and we'll figure out what's the best way to make it a win-win for everybody. Okay, So on August 1st, we will commence our soft launch. And that soft launch is not a pre-launch. It's not a full launch. It's a soft launch. But all the promo packs are being sold between now and then, okay, for you builders. They don't have to pay the registration over, right? And they'll be able to already be positioned. If you, well, not positioned, they have to register, but they wouldn't have to buy the packs, and we're gonna waive the registration fee for them. So there's no reason why you can't go out there and start building your network now. So the question is, are you ready to thrive? And for some folks, it's yes. I mean, I know that I don't want to put anybody's name out there, but there's people right now that I talked to today that like, oh my God, we just signed up 3 new people today, and yesterday we signed up a few people, and over the weekend we signed up a few people, and this is not just one isolated person. This is different groups that are out there excited about what we have. And that's important, folks, because you have to be excited, you have to be passionate. And if those two things aren't there, I mean, it's just you don't believe it, it's not you, you don't feel it, then you're not doing yourself any good by hanging around, lingering around, and you need to find something that you want to do and go do it. And we're going to be cheering you on. We're going to be your biggest cheerleader. But for the people that are ready to thrive, and I remember seeing 400 people that were massively excited 2 weeks ago in Vegas. Now, they might have been excited just because it was Vegas, but I tend to believe that they were excited by what they saw. And I'm a little biased, right? But everybody at every single event has always said, this is the best event I've ever been, and it tops the last event, which was the best event I've ever been, which was the one previous to this one. I've heard people say that no matter what company they ever build, if this group of people puts on an event, they're going to go because of what the information, the education, the knowledge, the practical application, the legends, the multiple 7-figure legends that cross that stage, and from outside of the network, from different walks of life, from different types of businesses, and just pouring that that equipping and mentoring and knowledge. It was just absolutely amazing. And I know it sounds like I'm biased, but and I am, but I know they're good. I recognize quality, and one of the things that you can't really explain it. You're either there or you're not there. You either experience it with us or you missed it. And even if you had a video, it is not the same experience. Even if we sent a complete video of every single speaker of what happened there, it is not the same thing. You got to experience, you got to be there. And this was no exception. And so what was so cool about seeing this and hearing the information there, that it really, well, personally, it energized me, because I'm hearing other people speak our language outside and completely disconnected from one another. They all come to the same conclusion, which is entrepreneurship is what's actually going to fix a lot of the problems that the country has. But not only that, but a lot of the problems that we have in society is because of entrepreneurship, and a lot of the problems that we have is because we're an employee-based economy. And so I know that none of that makes sense if you weren't there, but if you were there, you understand what I'm saying to you. And so that gave us a lot of clarity and confirmation that this is what we're going to do, folks. We're going to do it, period. We started iPro Network with 3 people, folks, and we stopped there because it just took off like a freight train. But we don't just know 3 people. We've been in this business for 12 years and built some massive organizations time and time again, and this is not going to be any different to that. And when you find out about the promotional pack, not promotional, excuse me, the core packages, listen to this, the core packages that we will have available in English and Spanish by the middle of next week, that are at the $99 level and the $500 level, which are completely brand new products. You've never heard me speak about them. They are phenomenal. And those products are going to allow us to go around the world, into Latin America, into Brazil, into parts of Europe, and just India, different places where the price points needed to be at a certain point. So what did we do? We responded to that need. And what that $99 product is, I'm not going to go into all the details, but it really is a $2,000 to $3,000 product that is going to be in $99. And I'm telling you, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner, if you're a self-employed, if you're in business in any way, shape, or form, if you have a lemonade stand, you need to get this training to get your business to the next level. It's that powerful. So, and it's going to be 99 bucks. So I said I wasn't going to get hypey. I know I just did, but it's just that I'm truly excited about what we're about to do. And so if you want to come and build with us, come and build with us. At Thrive, and the reason I have this slide up is because when you have a woman entrepreneur, multiple seven-figure earner into the technology space, not a network marketer, never been in network marketing. All the deals that she puts together are in the 8 figures and 9 figures, and she's just an amazing powerhouse entrepreneur in the tech space, and she has this vision of empowering 1 billion women by 2020. And she shared with us a lot of knowledge at the Thrive event. But one of the things that she recognized is that we speak the same language. I mean, from the stage, she was so excited. Guys, she was so excited about what our products are and how those products can empower people. From the e-commerce, from the ISP, from the trading to Zilkio and some of the other things that are going to carry over. And this week we spent time together. She flew in. We're looking at collaborating on a few things. What does that mean to Thrive? Nothing right now specifically, right? But when you put these people together, right? When you put people like this together that speak the same language and that have similar causes, things happen. There's the movers and the shakers that start, coming around. But here's what's really awesome about watching her level of excitement coming completely new, never seen anything about our company before, doesn't know about anything other than what she was presented there, what she saw there. And she was so excited saying, this is what my people need. This is exactly what my people need. And so to be able to see that somebody of that caliber, of that level of success can see what we have and then have people within the network that just, they don't get it. They don't understand. They don't want to, and that's okay. And that's why today is a crossroads, folks. It really is. Because we're going to move, and we're going to move fast. We don't know how to build small. Okay, this isn't, something that we want to have a 10-year plan to, we want to break records in the next 2 years. And we're going to do it. And we've done it before, so there's no reason that with everything we have and the people that we're attracting to our tribe, that we're not going to be able to be successful. And of course, with my Father in heaven, that, he blesses me tremendously. And the tremendous favor that he's shined upon our lives is just, there's just no way that it's not going to go. And so the second person that was there that actually I think was unbelievable. If you weren't there, you're not going to relate. But if you were there, to have someone like Josh Tolley, the author of Evangelpreneur, and all the knowledge and all the statistics and all the facts and figures and just being able to presented in such a compelling way that that at the same time was extremely frightening. And I've never laughed harder being completely scared of all the facts and figures that he was telling us, because of how right now we are an employee-based economy and what that affects long-term in our ability to be able to create wealth, or even to have enough to live off of over the next decades is just it's a scary story, but at the same time was so engaging and so entertaining, and again, somebody that speaks our language, and So Mr. Josh Tolley now is also going to participate with us in creating trainings and events, and our first one will be in September um, here in Irvine, California. So for some of the people that have been to our trainings, you know that they're going to be packed with information and life-changing information. And so Mr. Josh Tolley is going to be in September, and I'll be able to give out those dates next week. But aside from that, we're also going to be selling some of Mr. Josh Tolley's trainings through our network because they're just so powerful, and people need to understand entrepreneurship at the deep level that he does. And I really believe that that book was a completely divine download. And so these are the type of people that look at our model and get excited and want to be a part of what we do. Do you see what I'm saying? These are successful people in their own right outside of the space of network marketing. They look at this and they're like, oh my gosh, you're helping people become entrepreneurs. Are you kidding me? This is exactly what people need. And so that's why, folks, you know, I know that some of you might be today, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, you know, what's going on here? This isn't good news. Guys, this is tremendous positive news. It is awesome news. Because now what's going to happen is we're going to be able to have a new beginning. We're also going to have a completely different ending, folks, right? Here's the thing. With this complete separation of all of the, you know, what's going on with iPN Network and the SEC and this and that, and we get rid of all of that. But not just to get rid of it. No. Because now when there's a clean separation of pro-commerce to the network, but you know, pro-commerce can do what it needed to do, and those projects that were stopped because of the network can now be seen to fruition. And so again, I don't want to steal the thunder, but you're going to start seeing pro-commerce come out in a very, very aggressive way over the next couple of weeks. And so keep your eyes and ears open for that. But like Zig Ziglar said, we cannot start over, but we can begin now and make a new ending. And so, folks, the time is now. You know, if you made your decision, if you're gonna, you know, you're gonna keep on, you know, being with the leadership that brought you originally to this company, and you want to jump on board with the vision, you want to do your part to actually get us there, then now's the time. This is the time to start promoting all of the promo packs and build testimonials. Because not only is it creating you income for the next 30 days, but when people go through this boot camp, the timing couldn't be more perfect in terms of the e-commerce boot camps because it's not the same as the last one. Now, some of the topics will be the same, but what happened is on last week's call, he wanted to get a lot of feedback on what were the key things that people needed the most. And so some of the testimonials that people are coming out with, you know, that they're being successful selling their stores, you know, some stores have sold hundreds of thousands of dollars, others, you know, tens of thousands, others just a couple of hundred. And, you know, you know, but they're all different. But right now is the time not to waste your next 30 days. Right now is like, let's go make some money, but at the same time, let's build some testimonials so that people really understand the power of and the level of professionalism that these trainings have and where they can take them if they apply them. So very, very powerful time. You know, the timing couldn't be better. So folks, I just want to thank you for hearing me out for the last 42 minutes. Again, I try to keep it down at 30, but I just, you know, I might as well stop saying that at the beginning of the webinars. But I am excited. I hope I didn't get hypey. But Thrive, guys, you know, we're ready to thrive. The only question is, are you going to thrive with us or not? So we thank you so much for listening in. This was not an exhaustive webinar by any stretch of the imagination on every single situation that's going to arise between now and 30 days. But this is not a hard stop. It's a winding down. So don't panic. Don't be anxious. We're going to be able to solve all those things for you. So we want to thank you so much for being on this webinar and have a blessed night. God bless.